Lucky y'all, lucky y'all. Do we got to tell you again? It's NEOWrestling, E-Money,
In the
NeekCinco.
building.
We're back. We're talking about a little more about CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE title. Uh, I'm gonna just give the stage to Eric because this is the John Cena guy, man. Like he's the one to be talking about to know about this stuff, and I'm gonna just go off of his lead, man. So take it away, man.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so today, to help celebrate and commemorate the final John Cena versus CM Punk match that is going to be happening in just a few days here at Night of Champions. I wanted to talk about and reflect on the greatness of what the John Cena and CM Punk feud was, and in particular, look back on their what most people consider their most iconic match, that is the WWE Championship match in 2011 at Money in the Bank. This is one of the most highly regarded matches in the history of the company. I don't think that we will be saying anything that hasn't already been said by other people, but just allow us and join us in reflecting on this iconic match. So I would like to also kind of start by talking about like where we were as fans at this time, because I think that kind of giving that perspective is helpful as well. So in 2011, at this time, I had actually kind of just stopped watching WWE for the most part. So this was one that I actually came back to when I started watching wrestling again, and it it quickly kind of lived up to everything that people have talked about it as. As Nico said, I am the resident John Cena guy. I was and still am a huge John Cena fan. I am a WWE like John Cena kid, and so this this was a like match and an era that, even though I didn't necessarily live it through live in the moment, I am still able to kind of fully understand and appreciate kind of like who Cena was at the time, and who Punk was. Like Punk was definitely around um at the like tail end of my first kind of stint watching. So all of this kind of made sense, and bubbled up kind of right after I had stepped away. Nico, where were you at this point with wrestling in 2011?
I too was not watching wrestling in 2011. I was in adult life at the young age of I'm not telling y'all, but I was at work. But I was at work, man. I'll tell you that much. Uh, so I got into wrestling when I was like younger, and I remember having to sneak to watch it, and I was like watching like NWO fighting and stuff like that. But when I really got into it, when we were like not having to hide it no more, it was more like 2002, 2003. Like, I could be a little off, but like when Evolution was like coming up and stuff like that, Chris Benoit was still around. Eddie Guerrero was coming and like starting to get his steam rolling. So I watched from like then until like 2006 or 7 and kind of just started falling off little by little. But until recently I was just watching like clips on like Daily Motion and stuff like that, or YouTube, because you could find full fights and stuff on like Daily Motion. And but I was just keeping up by little things like Randy Orton matches or some John Cena matches, or like what was going on with Triple H, because like those were like the only guys that were like really keeping my interest at that time. But then, like 3 years ago, maybe I started seeing clips and it was like the bloodline and stuff like that. And I was interested in the storyline that they were showing and I was seeing on TikToks and stuff like that. So I just gave it a chance and started watching it again. And I was like, oh, this stuff is good as fuck right now. So here I am back watching wrestling. So in 2011, I was not watching the John Cena CM Punk feud go on live either, but I was going with wrestling before CM Punk even got to the WWE, honestly. So like, but it was funny because I knew who he was. I knew that was a wrestler. I knew he was like a big deal and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I was not like familiar with his work at the time. But I also went back and looked it up and seen all this stuff and it was good. And then you also recommended for me to look up some of these video before the talk, and I watched the
Yeah.
match. The match was awesome. I've seen this match before, but that match was really good. But then just seeing like the promos and the lead ups and the that was going on before it, you could tell like CM Punk really just did not like the WWE at that time.
Yeah.
like, like it wasn't like he says in the promos, not even that I don't like you and stuff like that, but like you could tell he just fed up. And John Cena was the one sitting there trying to stand up for the company and all that, being the good boy that he was at the time.
Yeah.
And CM Punk was just like, get out of my face with that Boy Scout crap. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm so happy that one, he changed his theme song, and two, his hair is not all slick back greasy anymore, man, because he looked like a real weasel.
You don't like this fire burn?
Nah, I like this new one more.
No.
I
Oh
like
man.
this
I
one
mean,
more.
I like the
Look at
Hulk's
my
personality
eyes.
too, but
Yeah, I like this one more.
um anyways, yeah, so to give to kind of go over some quick background.
I got a question.
uh yeah.
Actually, I don't really got a question. I got a question that just leads into me saying why I know it. But I had
Okay.
this thought, and I had to like look it up. I was like, how is he able to just get away with saying Ben Grimm the Things from the Fantastic Four's catchphrase? It's clobbering time. Like it's almost like his own catchphrase, but it's not his own catchphrase because it's from a comic book. But I
Yeah.
understand he's a comic book fan, and I guess he's cool with Marvel, and that's why he gets away with saying that shit. So it was pretty interesting that when I looked it up, this story behind it and stuff. But I won't get into details. That's a whole other stuff.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I have recognized that as a Fantastic Four thing, but I never really like looked into it.
Yeah, I was just like, because I was watching the fight and I was like, how does he get off saying that? Like he says it at every
Yeah.
event. Like, and I'm like, he's just
Yeah.
copying the thing, bro. Like Marvel ain't tell him to stop doing this. Like we ain't making no money off of you saying this, but Marvel's cool with it, I
I
guess.
guess not.
Yeah, Marvel's cool with
Yeah.
it. Good for him.
Well, to give a little bit of background on this match and the beginning of the Cena and Punk feud. So at this time, Cena was the current WWE champion and was a 10-time champion at that point. He was far and away the face of the company and had been the face of the company for about 6 straight years at that point. And so for the younger audience and the children like myself at the time, Cena was mainly beloved, and with the older crowd, he was not. um, and this was part like because of Cena's character in particular, and people feeling like he wasn't a good enough wrestler, clearly, for to be in the position that he was in. But he also was the face and the poster child for what Vince's booking was of WWE at the time, which was almost completely Cena centric. And so when Punk comes in and and he starts to talk about his feelings and the things that he is upset about with Cena and with the company in particular. That's where his moniker of being the voice of the voiceless comes from, because at that time he was saying so many of the things that a lot of fans had been feeling at that time, and just with his ability as a great promo to be able to deliver these things, really was what helped catch fire with him as an individual act, and for this particular feud of what it felt like somebody finally standing up to Cena and the WWE as a whole. He also was able at this time to blur the lines of kayfabe, which um, is something that like you kind of consistently see and feel with some of the like best wrestling feuds and like wrestling matches of that. Like he was talking about his position in the company, and that Cena was here and that everybody else was here, and that he wanted to be on the posters and on the cups and all of that. And then he was talking
And
about his
Dwayne's in the main event, and I'm pissed off about it.
absolutely. And that comes up as a part of this feud, almost right after this match, and him talking about his contract status in particular was one of the biggest elements of this particular match. Was that his contract was he was saying was ending the day after Money in the Bank, and he was threatening at the time to win the WWE Championship and leave the company with it. And Money in the Bank just so happened to be in his backyard in Chicago. And so this was
I don't think it
back
actually
in.
was in Chicago though. I think it was close to Chicago, and I think they were just saying Chicago because it was so close. Cause like, wouldn't that be like the Center or something like that at that time?
Yeah,
And
okay,
I don't
maybe
think
it
they
was
were at
in
the United Center.
Illinois somewhere, but it was
Yeah.
it was clearly
No, because I
uh
noticed that when I was watching the match earlier. Because I seen the flyer and I was like, that didn't say Chicago on the flyer. So why are they saying Chicago
maybe
during the
not.
show? But I
Maybe
get what.
not.
But then they started like referring to it as like the Chicago crowd. So like that makes more sense to say the Chicago crowd, because Chicago is definitely just gonna make the trip 10 minutes away to go see CM Punk. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll let you continue.
But yeah, I mean that's the build up at this point. Punk's infamous pipe bomb promo is a part of the build and the lead up to this match as well. And he had created a groundswell of support, uh as not only because people loved and attached to his particular character, but because of what he represented as something new and something as anti establishment, which is what clearly a large piece of the audience wanted at this time, as a break from John Cena. um, so coming into this match, Nico, what did you think about, like, as you saw the entrances for this particular match, and just the John in one of his famous, like, absolute, like, villain, like, on like road game, like he like couldn't have the like odds stacked higher up in not only this particular match, but having this match in this building, which couldn't have been more uh bloodthirsty for a CM Punk win.
First to go off of what you said, 'cause that was a good question, but to go off what you said, I can see why people think that John Cena can't wrestle because his style of wrestling and what the show he puts on is very formulaic. I hope I said that right. Where they're not necessarily a certain structure, but his route to victory is normally the same. So it's not really a lot of excitement and like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened with John Cena. But to say he can't wrestle, people say that I always like shake my head because every now and then John Cena be pulling new moves that you never seen him do out his bag, bro. Like I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken, whatever the move Roxy does, pop rocks. I swear I've
yeah,
seen John Cena pull that off a couple times, bro. And it
yeah.
impresses the shit out of me when he does it. Um, so to go to your question about the entrances and John Cena being like the heel here, even though he's John Cena, you instantly recognize that when CM Punk comes out and you hear how the crowd reacts to him. Because like I was impressed at how loud and deafening and like how it just like it was even so clear how well the crowd was coming through and
Yeah.
like it was just a mind blowing how deafening it was in there to hear him yelling and all that stuff. Like you hear Michael Cole and all them. I think with Michael Cole and Booker T and I forget who else is on commentary. I think Jerry Lawler's still on commentary at this time. But
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, so you hear them, but like they're almost being blurred out by the crowd yelling. Like if it wasn't for good production company making them clearer than what the yelling was. But then John Cena comes out and it instantly hit me. I was like, John Cena's already been here, man. Like this heel shit ain't even new for him, bro. And if I'm not mistaken, this is way after the ECW night, right?
Yes, this is 5 years after that.
Yeah, so ECW has happened. This has happened. Like John Cena's already kind of been in the heel position plenty enough to know how to handle the heat and handle the crowd not liking him and stuff like that. So and you see it clear as day here. Like you can see his aura. His aura that night is very similar to the aura he had the first time he came out after his heel turn.
Yeah.
He came out really cold. Like he comes out and he just puts the championship up. There's none of that. I even noticed when he takes his shirt off, and you know how he normally throws it in the crowd. He purposely
Yeah.
threw it to a mother wearing. Let me. He purposely threw it to somebody wearing a John Cena shirt. Like it's like he learned his lesson from that ECW night when they kept throwing the shirt
Yeah.
back at him, and he was like, "Nah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it to somebody who's definitely keeping this shirt." Like instead of just hauling it into the arena like he normally does. But yeah, the atmosphere was ridiculous. Like there was one time when they started doing the Cena sucks. Like
Yeah.
and I was just like, wow. Like can they even hear themselves thinking while this is going on? Cause it's so loud in those arenas at that moment. And CM Punk, it was very it was almost pleasing. I don't know why, because I don't even dislike John Cena, but it was very pleasing to see a crowd just on the side of somebody not John Cena in a match from that era. Because I know how like John Cena
Yeah.
was huge at that time.
Yeah. I think there's like I I wanted to highlight the like atmosphere like because like it is such a character in this match. Um and like the and because like there is so much to this match that like adds to why it's such an iconic moment like even outside of them actually like wrestling really well like and like putting together a great match in that sense. As you said, Cena has at this point been in a bunch of different big matches, not only for the championship, but in these big matches where a large portion of the crowd really wants the other person to win. And I feel like he plays this perfectly of that when he comes out, like there is none of the like animated like him like celebrating and him like taunting. Like he like comes out, he's like completely stone faced. Like he like walks straight to the like ring. There's no hi to the like cameraman or like um running down and like sliding into the like ring. Like you can tell that like his character in this moment is taking this as seriously as possible, and that he is as locked in and as focused as he needs to be, because the entire building and what feels like in the moment the entire world is waiting for him to lose.
Yeah, that's definitely what was going on there, man. The world wanted him to lose, and at the end of the day, they didn't get disappointed. So it was a crazy turn of events with the whole Vince McMahon coming out and trying to get them to ring the bell, and John Cena himself being like, "Nah, that's not how we're doing this." But that instantly turned on him. They didn't even like go down the line and just turn on him. It instantly bit him in the butt for doing that. So it was definitely a monumental moment, and WWE is just good for creating those moments, and that's why, like I said, what I said in our predictions video about CM Punk, me not being surprised if they were to pull a trigger like that here today. I mean, here at Night of Champions and stuff like that, is because they're
Yeah.
really good at finding the right moment to make the moment. So
Yeah.
even if they kind of drop the ball throughout the rest of the year, but yeah, this match was super interesting to watch. I don't even know how it went after that, but just the promos leading up to it were really good. CM Punk like is really good on the mic, and he's number 1 and 2. I'm assuming right there, 1 and 2 on the mic, along with like Paul Heyman, make the big three on the mic. So it's just undeniable that
Probably.
this match was going to go places, and it and I feel like these are just things that catapulted him and probably put him and was the reason why I knew who he was, because he was creating moments like this.
Yeah. Yeah, Cena and Punk, not to like completely skip over like what happens in the like ring, but their styles just like meshed together so well. Obviously, as you were saying before, with like Cena's really like ground based like power, style and moves, and Punk as much more of a like thoughtful and technical wrestler, of that. Like Punk is likely not going to be like stronger than you, but he is going to like outthink you. Cena at this point in his career has been in this main event stage like long enough where he is able to put on a like really great in ring match as well, that matches the magnitude of the moment in the story.
You know what impresses me about
um
this match though? Um, this match from an in-ring like spots point of view is not that entertaining. Like there's not really any spots, any real big bumps in this match or anything like that. But from just a wrestling perspective, they just kept their foot at a constant good the whole time through. It was more the stakes of the match and the length of the time that they wrestled that makes the match really good, because they were getting a finisher fest off, honestly, and it was a slow
yeah.
drag, and it was a slow drag, and it had a lot on the line. So, and the lead up was, like I said earlier, the lead up was just really good, and I feel like it wasn't that long, right?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, because I mean that's Money in the Bank in June. I went back and confirmed that I had the timing right. So in April, of that year was the WrestleMania with John Cena versus the Miz for the WWE Championship in the main event. So that will tell you exactly what was going on and why maybe both of us
The
were
Miz was
were
cool. Yeah, but the Miz
were
was
not
cool.
watching at the time.
The Miz was cool, but yeah, I mean, the Miz doesn't get his flowers enough. Like he was, in my mind, he's Logan Paul before Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean I think he's definitely better than Logan, but yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
but he's a more established wrestler. He's had way more time, so like that's why we would feel like the Miz is better. Like at this point in Logan's career that the Miz was at, we felt this way. Like you said, we weren't watching wrestling, and we're kind of attesting it to
Yeah.
people like the Miz because at that same time in his career, we were like, don't care. So
Yeah.
I remember when the Miz came into wrestling, and I was like, the dude from like that MTV show. What?
Yeah. For
But
sure.
and now when I look back at it, I'm like, I respect what the heck the Miz has done in his career. Like he's actually one of those guys when he says I deserve more. I'm like, it's kind of not wrong. It's kind of hard to give it to him, but he's not really wrong. And Logan Paul, for all it is, he's been impressive so far. So for people who want to hate Logan Paul, I think it's stupid. That's why he even got to be on John Cena's side in the tag team match because like people like John Cena see what he's doing out here and they know it ain't that easy. Because if we want to go back to talking about in ring, like some of the things they were doing, not that it was dangerous or anything, but it does take a toll. Like there was the one moment where I think John Cena suplexes CM Punk off the apron onto the floor, and I'm
Yeah.
like, those are
Yeah,
moments that hurt, bro. Like there's no way for that to not hurt. Like those kind of
for sure.
there's another moment in the match where CM Punk destroys John Cena's jaw when he just runs up while John Cena's on the rope and he throws the second knee, not even the first one with the second knee. He
Yes.
clean
Yep.
hits John Cena's
Yeah.
so like they were really getting it off and like beating each other up this match too for this belt, man. So they made it believable. And it's just a match between not just two good wrestlers, but two good showmen. Like they know how to put on the show.
For sure.
So
Yes, absolutely. And then to jump to the end of the match, which you already mentioned, I think this worked perfectly too. I mean, the way that they played off of like long time and kind of hardcore fans' expectations of knowing that the most famous version in WWE of a similar moment like this of a like top star threatening to leave the company with the championship was the Bret Hart moment, which turned into the Montreal screw job, and so them playing off of that expectation of Vince coming out and seemingly trying to do the same thing just to have um, Cena not allow that to happen. It one like does like make Cena look like the like hero and like a good guy and like it it also gives him a like reasonable like reason for why he's just about to lose because he got distracted or whatever, but um playing off of that was really awesome. Having it cost Cena in that moment, the like second that he gets back in the ring, I think was really surprising in the moment and great. And then post match, I think just like adds to this moment so much too. In that like Vince loses his mind, he then goes to um, demand that Alberto Del Rio, who just won the Money in the Bank, come out to try and save the championship. Punk realizes that he can just leave, and instead of having that second match, he just hops the barricade, blows a kiss, and leaves in in the arms of this crowd that is in the like highest amount of joy and celebration possible.
This that moment had me kind of laughing because I was like, that's the least tired I've ever seen a wrestler after a match like that.
Yeah,
Like he
that's
got up
true.
and heard Alberto Del Rio coming out and he instantly got up, just turned around, looked at him and kicked him like you didn't just go through a 30-40 minute grueler with John Cena. Like like no exhaustion
That's true.
whatsoever. He just was ready to go. He was more than ready to go and then just left with mad energy. Like, bro, like it's almost like one of those matches at the end. I'm looking at John Cena like, John Cena, did you even beat him up, bro? Cause like he's gone, bro. He don't need no help. He don't need no nothing. His energy is on a million right now. Um, but I totally agree. All that stuff was just very intriguing, and it made the match interesting. And to go to the present day, I think that it is super interesting that they decided to repeat so many steps, just but in different ways, in slightly different
Yeah.
ways. Like using I got an R-Truth theory also, and I don't know if I should just get into the R-Truth theory now because I mentioned it, or I'm gonna just get into it. So my
Okay.
R-Truth theory is that I don't really believe this part, but because I don't want to give them credit, but the way they've been using R-Truth lately makes it feel like we might have got worked with the firing, even though I don't believe that that was the case.
I
I
don't think
truly
so.
don't believe
Yeah.
that was the case, but you want to know why I feel like this? I feel like that was more just a you know how R-Truth would just appear somewhere he's not supposed to be, like the Women's Royal Rumble or some shit like that. And I feel like this was
Yeah.
R-Truth just being R-Truth on the internet, and this Ron Killings version of R-Truth is like, you know, one of those shows where somebody is like nice and kind, but like eventually like the mean side of them just takes over, and they're like, nah,
Yeah.
and the nice side tries to like take back over every now and then, but the mean side is like, we running it right now. You're too soft, too gullible. You let people walk all over you. We ain't doing that no more. I feel like that's what's
Yeah.
going on with the Ron Killings character. Is that he's more like a persona in R-Truth because they haven't even changed his name on the when he comes out. He's still R-Truth.
I know. I know.
So I'm starting to feel like either they're super spinning this super well, they're spinning this super well, which is like not typical of the WWE to spin something so fucking well, or we got worked like with either one or the other. And so I'm like, this feels like a persona because he literally says it all, like not all the time, but a good enough amount of times. I'm in charge now. It's almost like he's telling the R-Truth, like, no, you lost your rights to run the show because you were getting clowned. You were getting looked at like a little person. You got fired. Like I'm here. Like, so I almost feel like it's a split personality type of thing with R-Truth. Like the WWE still looks at him as R-Truth. John Cena still calls him R-Truth. Nobody refers to him as Ron Killings but himself.
I like the theory. I think it's just very good spin though. I mean, we like saw the like best example of this last year with the whole like rock story like leading into WrestleMania. Like none of that was supposed to be what was happening. Like they were actually just gonna have Rock and Roman, and then they like turned it into something magical. So this is not the like first time
Yeah.
that they took a genuine mistake and turned it into something that adds to the overall story.
So I'll end with this. That end that point with this is I feel like they did actually fire our truth, and it did just end up
They did.
backfiring in their face, and we're here now, and they did just happen to strike gold with this story. But it's just like, damn, they actually like really handled it super well. But the fact that I do feel like Ron Killings is like a split persona, and our truth is still actually our truth is just the dark side of him is in right now. Is I feel like that's actually solid though. Like that's actually what's going on in the WWE, but they just haven't exposed it yet. Because I feel like the moment when Damian Priest approached him, I was like, "What are you doing, dog? Like you can't be doing this." I feel like that was the moment where we just got our truth. where he was just like, okay, DP,
Yeah.
and like he was kind of just R-Truth in that moment. Like, but
Yeah.
and then what did he do? He looked up and he kind of had that like that face, like he went back to being Ron Killings. So I think that's like a split personality thing going on with R-Truth right now, and
They could.
I'm all for that right now. But to go back to what I was really bringing R-Truth up for is that he's in this John Cena story and now attached to this John Cena CM Punk story by tying it back into the same way that it basically led up to this in 2011 when he dropped the pipe bomb. Is a John Cena R-Truth match, and he comes out to distract him, and however it may go, somebody gets beat up and somebody drops a promo. But this time, it's John Cena dropping the promo, and he even just laughs at it and like, "Ha, look at me getting to do your promo now." Like, and I thought he handled it so
Yeah.
well with the twist that he makes. But that's just John Cena being a good mic worker. And I'm in my head like, how many times does he watch this CM Punk promo for him to spit this out? Like almost word for word, just in a John Cena version.
For sure. So I mentioned this in the other in our Night of Champions predictions video, but to close this this section and just kind of talking about this match, Cena versus Punk, now as an adult, actually is my favorite of Cena's feuds in his career. All of Cena and Punk's matches are good to very good to excellent, on the mic. Like they are two of the best of their generation in that sense, and Punk is one of the few that were able to truly push Cena to always have to be at his best, and was one of the true threats, that like actually felt like he could take Cena's spot away, which with when you have a character like Cena that is so dominant, like even if people are giving him good matches, like there's that there's a short list of people that can actually like knock him off of his place. And Punk absolutely earned his way into being in that like upper like echelon of true like uh opponents like that could take everything from Cena. So uh I am so glad that I took the time when I got back into wrestling to like go back through all of the like matches and most of the story that the two of them put on together from about 2011 to 2013. Um and I am incredibly happy to revisit this rivalry and this feud one last time here during the John Cena retirement tour.
Like I'm happy because I feel like they're definitely, like I said, I feel like I said it earlier. I think they're definitely going to pick it up in the second half of this retirement tour. Like maybe wind down toward the end, but I think we're going to get a good ride the rest of the way. But I do have to counter your point because John Cena, man, they was doing my boy filthy for a minute, man, and he doesn't even acknowledge the fact that he finally like broke his streak of losing, like he had talked about and was complaining about and whining about before. But they had my man out here losing to Austin Theory and Solo Sokoa at WrestleManias and stuff like that, bro. So it's kind of weird because like you're right in the sense of saying like they needed somebody who was like that caliber enough to beat John Cena in this iteration of John Cena.
Back then, I mean, back then in like in the late 2000s.
Okay. Then okay, gotcha. I thought you meant that here. I kind of gotta interpreted it wrong, but yeah, nowadays they kind of doing my man dirty, man. But it is good to see this on the path of John Cena because You know, he gives you the whole "we're not giving the fans what they want," but like this is something the fans wanted, man, and we had to have it. Like there was no way to go around it. Um, I think it's just a good full circle moment, and the WWE is handling it so well. They're not like making it feel forced or anything like that. It's actually just been enjoyable the little couple weeks that we've had on it. It kind of sucks that it couldn't have been longer, just so we could have built like a little more hate in the beef. But like they said in the pipe bomb commercial, there's really no hate. Is just two guys. One's the best in the world, and the other is the greatest of all time. And I think they're both rightfully so. I wouldn't really say CM Punk is the best in the world, but John Cena is like definitely the GOAT. I feel like there's other wrestlers who are like debatable, and you can bring it up, and I'm not gonna be mad at you for bringing them up. But John Cena is just like he's too universal. Like he's known all over the place. Like mom, dads, old people, young people, movies, people from other countries. They all know who this guy is, bro. Like he's global. But yeah, that's I would assume that's the wrap up, right?
That that is it. Thank you for taking time to walk down memory lane and think about John Cena versus CM Punk, Money in the Bank. I hope everyone is able to enjoy their final match together this weekend at Night of Champions.
I really hope that's the best match of the night. I really hope that's the best match of the night for sure. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Do what you do. We would just like you to leave a comment. Tell us what you think about this stuff. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, if you see this, have been watching wrestling for a while, so you're probably more familiar with that old match than we are, because you were probably watching it live. And if you did, and you have a strong feeling about this new match coming up, because it's just nostalgia baiting you, let us know. All right. Catch you guys on the flip whenever we're back with another video. Maybe we'll do something when we go to SummerSlam and do like a vlog type thing. But until then, catch you later. It's E Money and your
Peace.
boy NeekCinco, and we out of here.